What is good? It's your boy SimD'sReviews, and I'm back in with another video. And yes, I'm laying down again. I'm gonna call this couch talk videos. That's what I'm gonna call these. When I lay down, relax, doing my videos. That's what I'm gonna call them. You guys are still gonna get videos of me standing up. You might get some videos of me sitting down, but these are couch talk videos. These are my rant videos. So when I'm gonna do a rant, you're gonna see me lay down. All right. Anyway, so. Just when I thought the gaming community couldn't get more pathetic. So the other day I did a video, obviously you guys remember, I did a rant video about how people were crying about who won E3 or who didn't win E3 or what they needed to do or what they didn't need to do. And people were also crying about, oh, I want my game and I want my game now. Like it wasn't announced 6 months ago. If you want to check out that video, it will be in the annotation at the end of this video. I'll make sure I put it up in one of the little corners of the video. And yes, the screen is clean. I know. New camera. I know it's fire. I know. It looked clean. It looked clean. I know. But anyway, so yes, I did a rant video the other day about E3. And now I got some more stuff to talk about because one thing that pisses me off is when people are ignorant to things that they don't understand. So like if you don't understand something and yet you have a voice about it where you're like you're angry to the point of like could you imagine could you imagine someone getting angry? Like let's say there's two families, right? So one family has a child that has a curfew. The other family has a child that doesn't have a curfew. So the child that has a curfew is over the other family's house. And the parent of that child is like, hey, you got a curfew, be home at 8 o'clock. Right? And the parent of the other family, of the child who doesn't have a curfew, she, the mother, gets mad at the fact that the other child has a curfew. Now, she doesn't understand, why would your child have a curfew? That's not fair. My child doesn't have a curfew. My child can come in at 1 o'clock in the morning if he wants to. And she gets mad at the other family, not knowing that the other family lives in a very dangerous neighborhood where if it's past 10 o'clock, you could get robbed. You could get killed. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have the right to be angry about something that you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And once again, more pathetic gaming community news. So let me get right into it. I know I've been talking for 2 minutes already, 3 minutes already. Let me get right into it. So anyway, so people are upset that Sony has blocked, I don't play online multiplayer, but just the gist of it is Sony has blocked accounts between PlayStation and Nintendo Switch when it comes to Fortnite. Now, one would say this is anti-consumer. That's not fair. I should be able to log into my account on Nintendo and be able to do it on Nintendo if I want to, and I should be able to log in my account on Xbox and do it if I want to. And your PSN account is your PSN account. So if your PSN account is your PSN account, then why would you be able to log in on your Nintendo account and play the same progress on your Nintendo account? And one would make the argument, well, I could do that on PC. That's because PC is in no competition to Sony. PC is in no competition to Microsoft. PC is in no competition to Nintendo. So yes, you are able to do something like that between console and PC, especially with Microsoft. Microsoft has the Play Anywhere initiative, where you literally can play any game you have on Xbox on the PC. So especially with them. But for the most part, PC is its own thing. That's why I don't understand how people say PC master race when it comes to gaming. It doesn't make any sense. You guys literally are by yourselves. No one's in fear of you. No one's scared of you. How are you the master? What are you the master of? You're in a kingdom. You're kings of a kingdom with no subjects in it. You literally are by yourself. You tend to the cattle. You cleaned up the city. You feed yourself. You bathe yourself. You're not a king of any kingdom. You're a king of yourself. But anyway, that's an argument for another day. I might talk about that later in this video. But anyway, so people are upset that Sony won't allow cross-play between Switch and PlayStation. There's a whole uproar about it on Twitter. Yes, I went back on Twitter. People don't understand how business works. Right? Now, I was not a business major, but I knew a lot of friends who were business majors. I was not a business major, but I knew a lot of friends who were business majors. And I also took many business classes. I took like 7 business classes. I don't know why, I just did. People don't understand how business works. So this is how business works. When you're on top of your competition, when your foot's on the competition's throat, you want me to tell you what you do? You pick your foot up, you stomp down harder. You don't help your competition. Allowing crossplay between platforms is helping your competition. And people say, "No, it's not. If you're for the players, then you should allow people to play with whenever they want, wherever they want." No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Let's say I'm Sony, right? I do not want to help Microsoft or Nintendo. I can help PC because I don't care about PC. PC doesn't put no fear in my heart. As a matter of fact, I'll even allow some of my exclusive games to be played on PC through PlayStation Now. Right? Because I could care less about PC. Right? But Microsoft and Nintendo, no. You're not going to have crossplay with me. Because if I give you that, matter of fact, let me reframe it. I'll give you crossplay if you give me something in return. Now, what Nintendo and Microsoft will be able to give Sony in return, I have no idea. None. No idea. I could see something like, let's say PlayStation made another All-Stars game. And Sony could say, "Oh, we'll give you crossplay, Nintendo, if you allow Mario to be in our All-Stars game. And Microsoft, if you allow Master Chief to be in our All-Stars game, then we'll give you crossplay." But why would Nintendo and Microsoft do that? It's called give and pull. Give and take. I'll give you this, but I'll take that away. But you'll take this away from me. That's how it is. Anyway, so again, I'm Sony. I'm the corporation Sony. I'm not going to allow crossplay between my competitors because if I do that, my competitors will actually get help. Here's how, because people don't understand how business works. Once again, people don't understand how business works, and people don't understand how I would help my competitor by doing that. Here's how. Let's say I'm Timmy. My name is Timmy, right? I have 6 friends. They all own PlayStation 4s. They all love PlayStation. They don't own no other console but PlayStation. They all love Fortnite. That's it. They love Fortnite. They play it every single day. I'm Timmy. I don't have a console. But I don't really like PlayStation that much. I'm an Xbox guy. I had an Xbox One. I had the original Xbox. I had an Xbox 360. But I have not bought an Xbox One yet. And I haven't bought a PlayStation 4, and I haven't bought a Nintendo Switch. I haven't bought any of them yet. Right? I'm considering buying an Xbox to play Fortnite with my friends, because I assume there's crossplay. Only to find out that it's not crossplay. Right? So now I'm in a predicament. As Sony as a company, their job is to get me, Timmy, to buy a PlayStation 4. Right? That's their job. Get me to buy a PlayStation 4 so that I can play with my friends in Fortnite online. Right? I'm not really a big PlayStation 4 fan. But if I really want to play with my friends, I'll have to buy one. Because if they allow crossplay, then I can then say, "Oh, I don't need to buy a PlayStation 4. I'll just buy an Xbox because I prefer Xbox over PlayStation. I'll just buy that and I'll play with my friends online anyway." Do you see how business works? Why me as Sony? Why would I help Microsoft? Why? And people have this stupid, nonsensical notion that it's anti-consumer to feel that way. No, it's not. That's just pro-business. So basically what you're saying is it's anti-consumer for me to keep what I have to myself. For me to keep what I have to myself. If I was Sony, It's anti-consumer for me to keep what I have to myself. Yet I'm not getting anything in return from you if I allow you to have it. How is that anti-consumer? You want me to tell you what anti-consumer is? Having to pay to play online. Wait, doesn't Sony do that? Doesn't Microsoft do that? And isn't Nintendo going to do that too? Yeah, that's anti-consumer. Because when I buy a game at $60, I should get everything that comes with it. You want me to tell you something else that's anti-consumer? Season passes, loot boxes. That's anti-consumer. That's anti-consumer. But Sony not allowing crossplay is not anti-consumer because it's their network. They own the network. Sony does not need to cater to anybody. Microsoft doesn't need to cater to anybody. And Nintendo doesn't need to cater to anybody either. They do it because they want to make money. That's the only thing that these console manufacturers want. Money. That's it. That's it. And guess what, guys? Another thing. You realize that Sony is blowing the competition out the water so much right now that literally they're pushing 85 to 90 million consoles sold. Last time I checked, Switch was around like 11 million. And last time I checked, Microsoft around at the max 40. So 11 plus 40 is what? 51. 51, right? 51. And then 85 to 90 with Sony. Sony is beating them by more than double combined. So Microsoft and Nintendo combined, Sony is beating them combined by more than double. So you know what that means? That means combined, if every single person who owns a Switch and every single person who owns an Xbox, if they all bought or played Fortnite all together at the same time, you could still have more players playing on PlayStation than those other two consoles combined. If everyone on PlayStation got Fortnite and played. You get what I'm saying? That ecosystem is so big on PlayStation. It's so big on PlayStation that they're beating their competition, both their competition combined. Why would they allow crossplay? That doesn't make any sense. But they allow it on PC. Why? Because PC is not their competition. They don't care about PC. They're not in any competition with Steam at all. Why would they allow crossplay between their competition? And again, it helps their competition because now I'm Timmy. I'm just going to buy an Xbox instead of buying a PlayStation 4. And I'm still going to be able to play with my friends. Or I'm just going to buy a Switch instead of buying a PlayStation 4. And I'm still going to be able to play with my friends. That's how business works. That's how business works. If you take yourself, whoever's watching this, take yourself. You're an inventor. You have a product that you invented. Your closest competition invents the exact same thing, but just names it differently. You own the patent on your invention, and you own that patent long before your competition did. Are you going to allow them to make what they're making and undercut you and take your sales away? Or are you going to go to the SEC or are you going to go to federal court or anything like that and say, hey, they're stealing my product. And by them stealing my product, I want to sue them. You're going to do that, right? Because it amazes me how so many people are business majors. So many people have been in business for 50 years on Twitter. And they don't know, and they know everything about business, how business works. It's not anti-consumer to not allow crossplay. That's pro-business on Sony's part. And there's a lot of anti-consumer stuff that Sony does. Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of anti-consumer stuff that Microsoft does. There's a lot of anti-consumer stuff that Nintendo does. Again, paying for online is ridiculous. But let's not forget, Xbox has been doing that from the beginning. Sony just started doing that this generation. And don't even get me started on Nintendo. Nintendo, out of the bunch, is probably the most anti-consumer of all of them. They're probably the most anti-consumer of all of them. Nintendo has very shady practices. Very shady practices. Out of all the main console manufacturers. And another thing is, I was reading on Twitter, you can download Fortnite right now and play it for free on PlayStation. But on Xbox, there's a paywall behind it. So, again, explain to me how Sony's anti-consumer, but Microsoft is not in that same situation. And I know there's a paywall on Nintendo. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there is. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I read it. I read it on Twitter. I didn't actually do no research into it, so I don't care. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. But I'm pretty sure that there's probably a paywall on Nintendo to play Fortnite online. None of them should, no company, none of them, the big three, none of them should allow that. None of them you should have to pay online to play games. None of them. None of them. None of them at all. And I understand. They do it because they want to be able to strengthen their servers. Like, for example, PlayStation, the PS3, you can go online right now on PS3 and play whatever multiplayer game you want for free. Right now. Because PS3 didn't have a paywall. You didn't have to get PlayStation Plus to play multiplayer on PS3. But they needed to strengthen their servers for the PS4, so they said, well, we're just going to add money to it. We're just going to add money to it because Xbox is doing it, and that's our closest competition, so we're going to add money to it. Do I think that's a good idea? No, but that's how it's been. I told you guys, I don't play multiplayer, so I don't get affected by it. I really don't care. I'll buy PlayStation Plus for the deals that comes with it. That's it. I'm not buying PlayStation Plus for multiplayer. The only game I play multiplayer in is Friday the 13th. And I just want to show you guys something real quick. If I could find it. Because someone tweeted a photo. Of... here it goes. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. But basically what this is this is a photo of you need Xbox Live in order to use Internet Explorer on Xbox. So hold on. I have a router at my house. I have internet at my house. And I can't use Internet Explorer on Xbox without having Xbox Live. You do realize that there's a browser on PlayStation that you could just go to and do whatever you want on. You could watch movies online. Literally. You could go to websites like let me think of what it was. Putlocker. You go to like Sockshare, stuff like that, and watch full-length movies on PSN, on the PlayStation Network, online, on the internet browser. But I need to have Xbox Live in order to play, to go on the internet. I can't even go to Google without having Xbox Live Gold membership. But we talking about anti-consumer. That's anti-consumer. It's ridiculous, and again, pathetic how people cry about things that they don't even understand. You don't understand how the business model. You don't understand that businesses need to do certain things in order to survive. It's not anti-consumer. It's pro-business. Everyone who says it's anti-consumer are the typical, nonsensical, pathetic people who say that the customer is always right. No, the customer is not always right. The customer is wrong a lot of the time. But you've been grained, and it's been grained in your head, and it's like a clock. It's just ticking in your head that, oh, I'm the customer. I can do whatever I want and say whatever I want, and I'm going to always be right. No, you're not always going to be right. Customers are not always right. That's ridiculous. It's a nonsensical notion. Whoever came up with that is an idiot. Customers are not always right. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then, oh my gosh. So then I saw Ghost of Tsushima, which is a PlayStation exclusive game. It's coming. I'm assuming it's coming next year to PlayStation exclusive, obviously. Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man is also a exclusive PlayStation game. So these games are coming out. Well, Spider-Man is coming out in September this year. Ghost of Tsushima is probably coming out next year. And then I saw people saying it's anti-consumer that PlayStation has these games. It's anti-consumer because they have exclusive games. Because your platform of choice does not have them. Again, give and take. So, Ghost of Tsushima is an exclusive to PlayStation. There's petitions right now. Hold on, let me show y'all. And this is another thing about the PC gamers that makes me laugh. You guys are the master race, right? PC gamers are the master race, as they say. Yet they're asking for the console peasant games. And guess what, guys? That's another thing before you guys attack me in the comment section. I have a PC. Just so you know, I have a PC. Any like emulators, anything like that I have are all running on my PC. So yeah, there's that. Let me find this photo, man. Oh man, gallery. Hold on one second. Here we go. There's petitions to get the console peasant exclusives on PC. Because that's what they say. That's what they call people who play on console, like as if it matters. You're peasants. You're peasants. Look at your graphics. There's no ultra settings on PS4 or Xbox or Nintendo. You're peasants. You're peasants. What are you kings of? This is gaming. What are you kings of? Anyway, if you guys are such kings, right? And console gamers, Microsoft, Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation 4 gamers are peasants, like you say. Why do you want PlayStation exclusive games? Why? Make your own games. You guys are kings, right? You should be able to hire anyone to make anything you want. You're kings, right? Nonsensical. Anyway, so having exclusive games all of a sudden now is anti-consumer because Sony pays for these games. Matter of fact, Ghost of Tsushima is literally owned by them. Sucker Punch Studios is owned by Sony. That's their first party studio. Insomniac might as well be owned by Sony. Let's be real. They might as well be owned. They're more like, I wouldn't say that they're a third party studio when it comes to Sony. I would say they're a second party studio when it comes to Sony. Sony might as well buy Insomniac. They might as well. But again, that's neither here nor there. Because the reason why Spider-Man is exclusive to PS4 is because of the deal that happened with Disney and Sony. You see, Sony's anti-consumer for having Spider-Man exclusive to them. But no one complains about the fact that Spider-Man is in Captain America Civil War. Oh. Did you think maybe that's why? No one complains about the fact that Spider-Man Homecoming gave Spider-Man his own movie in the MCU. No one complains that Spider-Man was just in the Avengers. No one complained about that. So they're anti-consumer for having Spider-Man exclusive on their platform, but they're pro-consumer for giving the entire world Spider-Man in the MCU like everyone wanted. No one's who was crying when they found out that Spider-Man was going to be in the Avengers? Who was crying about it? Who? Nobody. Everyone was excited. Everyone was happy. Finally, Sony's letting Spider-Man go back to Marvel and Disney. Finally. Everyone's happy about that. But everyone's mad at the fact that they have Spider-Man coming to their platform exclusively. Explain this to me. Give and take. Push and pull. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I also have another news flash for you guys who say exclusives are anti-consumer. The original Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 movie games, the Sam Raimi movie games, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, theoretically are also Sony's properties. Now here's why. Because they were movie tie-in games. Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. They own the rights to Spider-Man. That's why on Spider-Man Homecoming, before the movie starts, it says Sony. Even though it's a Disney movie. It says Sony. Why is that? Because they own the movie rights to Spider-Man. They own those rights. So any tie-in game that has anything to do with a movie, theoretically is still theirs. Because they own the rights. Now, if they had said something like, oh no, we're not allowing you to use the movie title for that new Spider-Man. You can make a Spider-Man game that we don't own Spider-Man. But if it has anything to do with the movie, we own those rights. So because of that, theoretically, Sony probably could have stopped all of those games from going multi-platform. Probably. Now, there's a lot of legal hoops and jump ropes that they would have to go through to do that. But theoretically, they probably could have stopped those games from going multi-platform. Because they're Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3, the movie games, those were all on Xbox. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 were also on Xbox. Those games were on Xbox. But those games were Sony. Those are Sony movie properties. So because of that, that means Sony had some type of say in what happens with those games. They could have completely changed the names of them. They could have said the Spectacular Spider-Man 1 and Spectacular Spider-Man 2. They could have done that, right? They could have done that. Or the infamous Spider-Man 1, the infamous Superior Spider-Man 1, Superior Spider-Man 2. If they had named them those games, if they had named those games that, then Sony probably would have had no say over it. But the fact that they named them the Amazing Spider-Man games, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, the original Spider-Man game, the second Spider-Man game, and the third Spider-Man game, the Tobey Maguire voice Spider-Man games, those games theoretically are Sony's. No one complained about them going multi-platform. Insomniac, there was an interview with one of the guys from Insomniac where he said Sony came to us and Marvel came to us, and basically what they said was we could pick out of any Marvel character ever and do a game for it. They picked Spider-Man. Insomniac picked Spider-Man. There could have been a Daredevil game. There could have been a Moon Knight game. There could have been a Cyclops game. There could have been a Wolverine game. Any Marvel character ever, they were able to do a game for. And they picked Spider-Man. They picked Spider-Man. That came with the deal between Marvel and Sony. So don't complain about anti-consumerism when it comes to Spider-Man, the PS4 game, if you weren't complaining about Spider-Man being in the MCU. Don't complain about that. It's like people just want to complain about stuff. It's, again, pathetic. It's pathetic. Stop crying over stuff you don't understand. You don't understand what anti-consumer practices are. Because if you understood what anti-consumer practices were, then you wouldn't be buying Xbox Live. You wouldn't be buying PlayStation Plus. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You're telling me Games Pass is not anti-consumer? You're telling me Games Pass is not anti-consumer? Because you got to look at the model like this. You're paying $10 a month or whatever it is, right? You're paying that for a game to play for free on day one, right? But you're not paying it for free if you're paying $10 for it. And here's the kicker. Let's say one of the months comes out and there's no game you want to play. You're still paying that $10. Let's say your internet goes down for a year or a month, a year. But let's say your internet goes down for a couple months and you have no way of accessing your account to cancel your subscription. You're still paying that. Do you think Microsoft is going to say, hey, we realized that little Johnny in Idaho, his internet was down for a month. So we're going to give him a $10 credit fee so that he could get his money back for the month that he missed playing Games Pass. No, they're not going to do that. That's anti-consumerism. Anti-consumerism having to pay for something or having to pay for something that you already own. If I own a game at $60 full price, I should not have to pay for DLC. The DLC should come with the game because that's the game. The whole game. Like a perfect example is Ashura's Wrath. Ashura's Wrath, Capcom, Ashura's Wrath, you had to pay for DLC to actually finish the story. You can't finish the story without paying for the DLC. That's ridiculous. But anyway, this video is going way too long. It's about to be 30 minutes. So let me get off this. Anyway, moral of the story is this. Stop being pathetic. Stop being crybabies. I'm going to keep making these Rant videos. The more crybaby pathetic stuff that I see, I'm going to keep making them. And I know people might not be happy about it. People might be angry about it. I could care less. If you know this channel, if you ever seen this channel, I could care less. I don't really care about y'all feelings. The only feelings I care about are my subs. My subs are the best people. Those are the only people I care about. The subs. Anyway, so again, I don't know if I want to say like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, but I'll say it anyway. Like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below how you feel about the pathetic, crying fanboys. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm SimD'sReviews. I'll holler at y'all later. One.